Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion.
The WNBA is currently facing a major financial crisis, watching its foundation weaken without Caitlin Clark on the court. Her absence once again highlights how little the league has learned about safeguarding the one athlete who brought them out of the shadows and into national relevance. This is the story of a league seemingly determined to sabotage its own success, while the very player who sparked its resurgence sits injured on the sidelines. Their refusal to confront the truth is now costing them millions in lost revenue and fan engagement.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
In today's world of manufactured drama and constant online noise, facts are harder to find than a sold-out WNBA game without Caitlin Clark. When Clark went down with a quad injury on May 24th, it became painfully clear just how much the league relies on her. Now, with another setback, a groin injury, and no clear return date, we're witnessing the same troubling pattern all over again.
Injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
Nationally televised WNBA viewership plummeted by a staggering 55% as games featuring the Indiana Fever saw a 53% drop in viewership, falling from an average of 81 million viewers when Clark played to just 847,000 without her. But here's where this story gets absolutely ridiculous, and by ridiculous we mean predictably catastrophic for a league that refuses to learn from its own mistakes.
Clark went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55% across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th, national TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
While Caitlin Clark was out doing what she does best, packing arenas, breaking TV ratings, and driving record-breaking revenue, the WNBA, unfortunately, was doing what it has often been criticized for, failing to act. Despite Clark being responsible for an estimated 26.5% of the league's economic impact, the response has been silence. In the face of repeated targeting by opponents, coupled with vague statements about basketball plays, it's a strategy that makes little sense for protecting the league's most valuable player.
News is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her fans.
Especially frustrating, though some might call it fascinating, is that this exact situation has happened before. Yet the league still hasn't learned. It's not the first time the WNBA has seen ratings and revenue nosedive after losing its biggest star to injury. It's like watching someone touch a hot stove, get burned, and then reach for it again, insisting, saw it coming.
What's really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season, and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries. With the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your second injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more prone.
If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe. The financial fallout has been swift and brutal. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games have dropped by as much as 71%, with some falling from $860 to just $250. Across the games, Caitlin Clark missed. The average ticket price fell from $1,370 to only $80, a staggering decline that clearly shows who drives the league's popularity. Road games, which had been moved to larger arenas to meet demand for Clark, are now struggling to fill seats. Take the recent Chicago Sky vs. Fever rematch once, one of the season's most hyped matchups. Ticket prices fell from $210 to $95. This is the same game that once attracted 2.25 million viewers, making it one of the most watched in WNBA history. Without Clark, it became just another game one that casual fans didn't bother tuning in for.
Man, congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA has successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
Christine Brennan, the veteran sports journalist whose upcoming book on her game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, promises to expose the league's failures, has been one of the most vocal critics of the WNBA's handling of their star player. The WNBA continues to fail to meet the moment, Brennan wrote after yet another incident where Clark was targeted by opponents. People are watching as never before. And this is what they see. Brennan's criticism cuts to the heart of the matter. The league has data showing that Clark alone draws more than half the league's TV audience. Yet they continue to allow her to receive cheap shots and hard fouls that serve no purpose other than trying to intimidate their biggest draw. It's like watching a restaurant owner allow customers to harass the chef whose cooking is the only reason people visit the establishment.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour or whatever the circuit is that they play on than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.
The pattern is both clear and frustrating. Caitlin Clark keeps taking hard fouls from opponents more focused on making statements than playing the game. Of the 30 flagrant fouls called this season, 5 were against Hereford from the Chicago Sky alone. When she responds, she's called aggressive. When she doesn't, she's labeled soft. It's a lose-lose situation the league created and continues to ignore. Meanwhile, the financial fallout is growing. Despite a Clark-driven boost in popularity, the WNBA was already set to lose $50 million. This year, with her out, those losses are accelerating. TV ratings are down, merchandise sales are slowing, and attendance is falling fast.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I hope Caitlin Clark is okay. I want to know when this injury even happened, bro, because let's be serious here. She has the quad injury. Mind you, Caitlin Clark hadn't missed a game since she was like 19 years old, since she was like 18 in college or something. Now she has a groin injury. We've never seen Caitlin Clark play as bad as she played the last 3 games. Let's just be serious here. She's like 1 for 20-something on threes in the last 3. We've never seen her shoot the ball this way. I'll say that. Has she been hurt and playing through this?
I admire about Caitlin. She's a warrior. She's tough. You hear me? Bruh, you just don't see players. You don't see female basketball players like her. I'm sorry. I haven't seen a lot of female basketball players, like I said.
I believe the physicality and all this hacking and fouling that goes on. She getting blindsided by Marina Mabry. I think all of this stuff is having a wear and tear and an impact. And all you guys are doing are hurting yourselves, because the numbers are going to drop and drop and drop. And trust me, when it's time for that collective bargaining agreement, they are going to point to this and say, well, how can we give you guys all this money? What happens if she gets hurt?
Because of the way they play the game. Because I love the WNBA. I love the way they play the game. But we really watch it because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knock her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She's going for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money?
What I saw walking to the game is what the media don't see. Thousands of kids.
Wearing what, Gil?
Kids. Huh?
What were they
Caitlin
wearing?
Clark jerseys.
Were they Fever jerseys? Were they Iowa jerseys? Were they
Wherever she played. It was whatever she played.
That's what was more impressive to me.
It did that. It wasn't just. It was Caitlin in the back.
For her style of play.
But her style of play. But it was. It wasn't what we were. It wasn't adults. Right. It was parents bringing their kids and their friends. Them seats was kids filled. Right. And that's what they don't understand. They don't grasp that part of it.